Hi everybody, it's Tommy Jo from Bird Street Studio, and I'm here to make I think everybody's making an envelope for these accordion collaboration journals, and I was thinking of doing that as well, but I think what I'm going to do is just make a cover for it. And my idea was to take this pasta box, which if you look close, you've seen I've scored it all over the place, trying to figure it out. But I think it's going to go like this. It's just going to set in here like this with the closure. That's what I'm thinking. So with that in mind, I wasn't really sure how to score it and really leave enough space for it to expand if I wanted it to expand. So I just I scored this side a little bit wider. And that's what I'm going to do, and then tie it. And that way it'll sit right on my bookshelf. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm not going to necessarily try to close the top or the bottom. I'm thinking that that's what I'm going to do. So what I started doing was, before I turned the camera on, was I went ahead and was sanding the cover a little bit. I did notice I am doing this at nighttime, so I've got the glare of my overhead light, so I'm trying to move down to this end of the craft table or my desk to eliminate most of the glare. But I thought that what I would do is collage the outside or inside. And then we would try to, then we would try to decorate it. And then I would figure out some sort of a tie or something. And if this doesn't turn out, we'll put it in an envelope. How about that? So basically all I want to do is collage this whole thing. Now, I do have a lot of book page over here in a pile and some neutral pages that I thought we could use. Right here, I'm going to put our journal off to the side. I'm not really sure what all the writing is on here, so we're just going to go with it. We're just going to put little pieces on here. And I'm not going to try to worry about whether we can see anything or not, because what we might do is cover up some of this text anyways. I'm going to just go ahead and use my glue stick. I'm going to put move my coffee, which I need to drink before it gets cold. I always bring it in here and then I don't drink it and then it gets cold. And I'll move my glue book over. And I did order glue sticks. So thank you for those who reminded me. And they came in yesterday. So, I wanted to turn that over, but you know what? We'll have a blank side. How about that? Not going to hurt a thing. It rained here all day today. This was a book I got from like the dollar store or something. And called The Tincture of Time. I'm not really sure what. I thought it was like some sort of a medical drama book or something. I don't know. So I don't think that there's any language in it that we can't see, but I don't know what the story is, so we'll try to make it so you don't read any bad part of any stories. And like I said, this is just going to go on my bookcase. So now you could distress all the edges of these pages, but I'm not going to do that just yet. I just want to look and see if I have anything else over here in my cart or here. I know that I have some of this that we could use. I got a message this morning from my grandson who's in Japan, saying that he wants to come home in December, but he also, his wife wants to go back with him to Japan for about a week. So he'll come here and then the two of them will travel back, and then she'll come home after that, and he needed a little help with his plane fare. So I was hoping she would call me tonight because I was trying to arrange how I could help them, because she's here stateside. And it's much easier for her to just book both the tickets, I think. That's my opinion. What do I know? But anyways, so that'll be exciting to have him home for Christmas, for the Christmas holiday. He'll come home like maybe 8 or 9 days before Christmas. And then because he does work over there, he has to be back by a certain time, and then she has a Christmas break from school here, so she'll spend some time over there with him and then come back home when she needs to return. This looks pretty good. So hopefully we can get their plane fares handled, and he asked if I could help with that as a part of, as his Christmas gift, as their Christmas gift. So I can certainly do that. Let's see what else we have. Anything different? Did download, Amy had this, and I thought, well, geez, that would be kind of decent. Let me make a rough edge on the side. But we could use part of this. Right? We can use that. Fill this in. I also worked 2 days, the last pay period. So I had enough money to buy another. Oh, is my thing hanging down here in the middle of our... No, it's not. My cord. Sorry. I had enough money to order a couple of Tim Holtz stamps to add to my collection when I ordered my glue sticks. So that's kind of exciting. I also had to order paper. I was out of the paper I use on my printer. Maybe I'll make this right here, but I want it to go a different direction. Like this. And then this one will go up in that far top corner. Cool. We're getting there, we're getting there. Let's see what else we have. These are pieces out of this, this kit of Amy's. So we could use some of this. I'm watching everybody else do their journals, and it's so cool because everybody has a little different twist and has a little different style. I know Mitzi said something about me having a different style from her, and it was like I really wanted to ask her, what is my style? Because I don't know what my style is. It's so funny that she recognizes that it's different, and I haven't really identified what my style is. So that would be an interesting question. So Mitzi, if you watch this, what is my style? Or how would you describe it? Because I'm not really sure what it is. Kind of don't want to cut that church out, but I don't mind taking some of this edge, more of this edge, and putting it It has been kind of fun to do this because it's a little bit different than anything that I've done in the past. So it's been a challenge, actually. And I got notice, or I saw on Instagram, it was Instagram, Luis and Barbara are doing Defember again this year, which I'm looking forward to. I participated last year. Watched it a couple years and didn't feel like I was experienced enough to commit to it. But I did it last year and I enjoyed it. It was kind of hectic because I was trying to do other things in between, but I did enjoy it. Okay, let's see what we can use up here to fill in. But anyways, I think I would like to try it again this year. I'm actually using my Defemember journal from 2024 as my regular journal to journal my memories from this year. So I am enjoying that, using it. Only I made it really big, not really knowing how that was going to affect participating, and I think I won't make one quite so big this year. It was pretty cool though, but it is pretty cool. Okay, I need a little piece right here, and I think we're good. I'm going to try to straighten this just a smidge. Yeah, put it this direction. Yep. And then I can't really decide if I want this to be the front inside or the outside or the outside or the inside. Because this, I should let this dry a little bit before I fold anything. But I think it's going to go like this. And then this is where, like, I wasn't really sure what I was doing. So the journal's going to go in here like this, and this will fold over. Perfect. Okay, so I think I'm going to trim this out. Now I did ask, I can't remember who I asked, maybe it was Amy. She closed something with magnets, something I watched of hers. And I asked her what kind of, or no, maybe it wasn't Amy, it was Brenda. I asked, and she said she got the magnets at Amazon. I think she said Amazon, but she didn't remember what they were called. Okay, so I think I need to, like this. And I think what I want to do here is I think I want to put a piece of cardboard in here because I scored it in a place I didn't want it scored, and I don't want it to bend there. So I'm thinking that I want to put a piece of cardboard on the inside there. So, and that I have. Cardboard I have. Yep, that's perfect. So I need a piece that is just shy of 3/4 of an inch. So let's straighten this cut a little bit. These are all pasta boxes. I say pasta boxes, cereal boxes. And I actually Had to stop saving them for a while because I had so many. So I want 3/4 of an inch. So I had to get a sip of my coffee. And now let's get a pencil. Okay, so if we measure 3/4 of an inch from there, we're looking at right here, right here. Perfect. Like I said, I'm just going to glue it in there to make that sturdy so it doesn't bend because I scored it in the wrong place. And I think that that will work. I'm going to cut just a smidge off of it. And then I have this wide tape right here. That might work. I'm going to put it in the middle, and then I will put a line of glue down either side of that space to try to catch where this where the tape doesn't cover on this cardboard. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, so this is where I want to put the glue. So I'm going to use my bookbinding glue here, I think. And here we go again. Okay. I just have a very tiny hole so that it doesn't come out real thick. Okay. And then we will remove our tape, the backing to this tape. And then we will put our cardboard in here. Oh, that's perfect. Perfect, and that'll hold that nice and sturdy. So I'm going to let this dry before I cover that side. But what I was thinking was, is I have these pages left from the kit. I thought I might want to glue in there, but I'm not sure what to take off. If I take off the bottom, maybe? Like this. And then put that over there. I think that would work. So we're going to overlap it anyways. So let's go ahead and use this whole piece right here. And that'll overlap the cardboard. We are going to use a glue stick and this is our top, this direction, so I want this to go here. And then we can take this piece and I don't want this edge to be straight. So if we do that, I think that would be great. And this I'm going to glue in sections. So I'm going to start, I'm going to glue this just a couple inches like this, and then we'll glue it in sections. That way I know it's going to lay flat and I can line it up. So if I do this, and I put it right on here, perfect. Then I'm just pushing on this where I scored it. I don't want to rip the paper, so I want to be careful, but I don't want it to bunch up. So you know, I want it to fold nice. Okay, and then this side, we want to fold right here. And right there. Now this fold is wider because it's going to go over the top of the cover pretty much. So basically our journal will fit right in here like this. So this side is narrower, this side is wider because it has to go up over the top. And then I definitely want to distress this. Like I said, I just want this so that the journal will sit on my bookshelf with my other journals. So I don't think it necessarily needs to be in an envelope. Having never done anything like this before, I think we did quite well. Y'all should be proud of yourself. And thank you, Amy, for the idea and making me kind of come out of my little comfort bubble here. And oh, I love it. So now we need to put some sort of a decoration on here. We could actually close it. If we close it this way, we could put this on there that I absolutely love. Oh, that might work. Then I could just put some Velcro under there. What do you think? I don't know, I kind of like it like this. So if that's the case, what is to stop us from backing this okay, I think we need another piece of cardboard, thinner though, maybe a, let's pull our card stock out here and see what we have. I have black, a piece of black. That's pretty skinny. I have green. Oh, there's a larger piece of black. that'll work. Okay. So what we want to do is glue this onto here, and I'm good with that. Perfect. And then I want my cutter. And I'm going to give this kind of about the same margin as that. I'm going to have to, I didn't put that on very straight, did I? Better trim that out first. Something like that. Okay, and then I was thinking if we connect this piece to here and put our tie through here, that would work. So let me see what I have for ribbon. I have blue and I have blue. Will they go around it? I'm not sure if they'll go all the way around it or not. See if I put that there. Leave this one loose. And we open it this way. Can't think of it. I gotta think this through. Yeah, I think that's what I need to do, because I don't want to tie it on this side. And I don't have enough to do this as a tie. So we are going to I want to make sure that I can tie this. And it doesn't have to be in a bow, just so I can tie it. Because see, I don't have enough to tie it into a bow. Gosh darn it, it's just short, just a little bit short. Okay, let's see what else we have. I have gray that's a little longer. Oh, that might work. Yes, I think that'll work perfect. We're just going to use gray. Okay, so what I want to do is I want these to be about the right length. So I'm going to glue this with Fabri-Tac right along the back here. Then we turn this over. We want to also glue it right here. Okay. Then we want to glue this piece down right here. So I want to glue this right there. And then I don't need a button. Then I can just use, oh, and I want to glue this to the ribbon. Okay, perfect. Then I want to glue it to the ribbon. Voila! How do we do? And then we can just tie this like this. Oh, I'm gonna have to sew this, I think, right there. I'm gonna run this over to my sewing machine, and I think I'm gonna sew, see if I can sew like around here. Hold this ribbon on, I think. So I'm gonna run over there and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back and I got this sewn. I just did a zigzag stitch all the way around and I tied it and I love it. But I'm thinking that the back needed something, so I took a piece of this and I think we can just glue this on the back, and then I'm gonna call that done. So I love it. Gotta find my glue book now though. Oh, I threw it way over there. Okay, so I think we can do this with just some I'm gonna think a glue stick and then some, maybe some art glitter glue around the outside. Let's try that. I did distress around the edges of this piece. And I think we have a time to do a real quick flip through. I hope. Oh, please, I hope I didn't stick it down to the glue book. Oh, perfect. Okay. And we're just going to set this on here. And I did put a lot of glue on it, so it should stick really well. Okay, and we're going to call this Accordion Collaboration done. I love it. Okay, so let's do a quick flip through. So basically, instead of making an envelope for the journal, I just made like a cover for it. And I may distress this, or I might put like a matte medium on this or something, I'm not sure. But basically it just closes like this and ties with the ribbon. I think that's cool. And then our journal just sits right in there. Look at that. The inside is so pretty. What a beautiful digital, Amy. Just gorgeous. Okay. So what I wanted to show you is, last time I was going to go ahead and glue this fabric on here. It's like a lace, an open weave lace. And what I ended up doing, and I'm going to stand up and see if I can show you. I took a Copic marker, the blue that we used, this baby blue right here, B21, and I just edged the lace here. I did some French knots with blue embroidery floss, and then I drew this little vine in between these little clusters right here. I drew the vine in blue, and then I went over it with a, what do you call this, like a fine liner. It was, well, you can't see this, but it is a fine liner, and it's a 0.2. And I just did a thin black line around the leaves and that to make it stand out. And I thought that was beautiful, like that. So that's what I did with the outside. And then here we have a pocket. Actually, it's a belly band. And I just folded up some papers. And this was part of a pocket that I cut off. And I sewed that on top. And we're sticking that right in that belly band. And over here we have a pocket. And remember, we put a little button on here. I thought that was cute with a little journaling card. And here is that really cool pocket. Now there's a tag back here, but there's also this little pocket. I thought this was such a good idea that Amy showed that. She cut this off of her envelope pocket, and I did the same. This I cut off of here. I glued it onto this card, and it slips right in there, so it looks like the envelope is closed, like that. But then there's also a place for a little tag there. This was a window envelope, and I decorated it, sewed around it, collaged on it. That is a flip out for journaling. And this is the top of the envelope. And on this side, we made a corner pocket. And I did the same thing here that I did on the front for these. On this tag, I drew with a Copic marker and then outlined it in black. And this is the same church, only miniature, that we have on the front of our cover. And this is our little pocket at the bottom. This is Amy's digital. This is an altered paper clip. Both sides, and I have a card on this side and a card on that side. So let me put that back on there. We'll flip it over, and I had stuck a card in here. And this part I added from the last time we were there. This is a piece of my fabric and lace. I made a whole cluster, what do you call it? I don't know, it's all on this brown craft paper. And I cut a piece off and put it here. And then I made these like buttons out of the digital. And I used glossy accents to make them. They're very shiny. I don't know if you can see. But anyways, I used one back here and a smaller one on top that I had stamped on, and then a piece of flower, and then I tied with embroidery floss to make it look like a button. Then when you flip the journal this way, this is where we have our little tiny fabric flip. I thought was cool for journaling. And then we have two flip outs for journaling as well. And here we have a pocket with a tag. And then we sewed in some journaling pages that we lined in gold. See if you can see that. The gold on all of these pages. And I put a little cluster on the front and the back page. So if you flip through it, just the tops and bottoms are lined in gold. See if you can see the gold. With just a little cluster. And then this is just a paper clipped card, journaling card. And then we are back to the front. And the whole thing goes right inside this cover that we just made. Like this. And it ties. And there we go. There's our accordion collaboration, hosted by Amy at Crafty Cat USA. And I love it. And I'm going to go put it on my journal shelf. So thank you to all my subscribers, past, present, and future. Thanks for hanging out with me and going through this collaboration. I really enjoyed it. I hope it gave you some ideas for things that you can add into your journal. Just like how we put it together. I know watching other people on the collaboration or in the collaboration, I learned a lot of different techniques and that to use in my journals in the future. So if you have a chance, go look at their videos. And I hope you guys have a great day. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody.